We are here at NFT Fest with the man behind it all, one of the co-founders here, Greg Oakford, GM.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
How did you find time to sneak away from the festival today for 5 minutes to do it? It's beyond me.
You caught me in a moment of weakness because everything just went well for the last hour. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, everything's gone well, but overall event planning wise, it's just, I feel calm right now.
That's good, man. We had an epic day one, lots of side events, there's lots of, talks and all that sort of stuff. What did you love most about it? Like, what do you love most about, hosting NFT Fest?
I mean, from a personal standpoint, the Kevin Rose interview for me yesterday was good. I mean, it seemed to be well received, but honestly, the biggest KPI for us, like even walking across to the bowls across the road last night with just the amount of people, when you're in event mode, and I've run events in sort of sports before, you're sort of always thinking about the next thing you got to do, the next thing you got to do. But when people come up to you and say like, this is such a good event and I'm just having such a good time, I've learnt something, there's kids floating around that are learning things. So you sort of think like, I wonder if this is like one of those moments for some of these kids that are like, 5 years ago they were at NFT Fest and now they're creating their own project or collection. So it's, as sort of cliche or corny as it can sort of sound sometimes, hearing that feedback from people is very, very sort of heartwarming and just makes it feel like all the work was worth it.
I love it. Is it too early to start talking about NFT Fest 2023?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
We'll skip on that question. What's one thing you'd like to add next year? Because it's been a killer event.
Yeah.
What's one thing you'd like to add next year?
Look, I think there's some sort of what we would call bells and whistles that we could do differently if we've got a longer lead time and maybe some more staff. It's sort of just the three of us running it. So, whether, a few people have asked, like, would you make the tickets to the event an NFT? And I think, we considered it before this one, but we just felt there was too much friction at this point and time. But outside of some bells and whistles, I think it's just spreading the word, right? Like this community is quite sticky. Obviously speaking to you guys, NFT APAC, NFT Melb, we've got everyone here, Oz DeFi, everyone's flown in around the country, which is just awesome. So I feel like when you get those concentric circles and you sort of build that sticky community and starts filtering out. So, we just want more people. We've got a great turnout this time around, but we'd love more people. And hopefully we can get some of the, people that we've had. We just had Farouk and Keith Grossman. I was telling Rowdy before, which was an incredible session. So hopefully we can get a few of the Americans and Europeans to actually come out right in person. And I think today and yesterday was a stepping stone for them to see that there's actually an event in Australia that people are attending and are excited about. So sort of hopefully putting us on the map to a degree.
What do you love most about this space?
It's just, I think it's for the curiosity, right? Like sometimes I wake up, maybe 5% of the time and I'm like, oh man, I just wish I had like a regular routine and job and just, I just want some routine in my life because it can be so intoxicating and fast paced. But ultimately, I've given myself 1 or 2 days off, I feel like in 2022. And then within like 6 hours, I'm already listen to a Bankless podcast again or whatever. So I just love the fact that you're just constantly learning, and I think it is a space, and this week is a testament to that people are bringing each other up, right? Like people are actually know that this is a blank canvas Web3 and not all the answers are there. There's no playbook. So everyone is so collaborative, and that's what I love about it. I remember sort of going on crypto Twitter. I've been on Twitter for a long time, but it was almost like the internet was fun again, right? Like even just saying GM and just it's fun, right? Like it's not sort of tearing people down and getting into politics and all this garbage. Like it's fun for me.
I love it. And what's one thing you would change or improve about the Web3 space?
I think it's just educating people. Like Farouk just said it then about SBF and FTX, and I've done a few interviews this week with sort of normie media, and they sort of, the first thing they want to do is go to the FTX thing, and I'm sort of moving them away to say, well, the Australian Open is actually announcing True Utility with a week-long, ticket for any AO ball holder. Like we've got to separate. I know it is commingled to a degree, but we do have to separate a centralized exchange and what's happening there versus what a major sporting event is doing with digital assets. And I think making that distinguish for people is important.
I love it.
NFT APAC, connect, create, collaborate.
Done.
Let's go.